Welcome back, guys. We're here with another project truck, this time a 2001 S10. We all remember these from when we were younger. A ton of the kids had these in high school when I was growing up. I think we all had one. I never owned an S10 until now. I had a C10 in high school, but S10s were everywhere. So here we are. I think this is going to be a great truck for guys wanting to get into the truck scene. NBSs got really expensive, C10s are expensive. You can still get these relatively affordable, especially the extended cabs. This one's a 01 S10, V6 auto, and basically we're going to take it from this truck that is stock, not very exciting, take off the mud flaps, stickers, which has way too many of, and we're going to drop it with a BellTech 4.5 drop. We're gonna get a little lower, and then we're gonna throw on some 18-inch American racing wheels. So basically take it from an everyday truck cruiser to something way cooler that you can drive around in, or someone wanting to get in the truck scene can have something cool to drive to the cruise in. So let's get started and we'll show you the process and what parts we're gonna put on it. Here we are with the American racing wheels. These are 18/8s, 18 9.5s, and we got them wrapped in Nitto 245 45 18s and a 295 40 18. So we're gonna do definitely a big tire in the back, nice and wide, and then do the little narrow up front, so for a good staggered setup. These trucks are 5-on-4 and 3/4 bolt pattern, so easy to find wheels. A lot of options in that car bolt pattern because they don't use the truck 5-on-5. So you have a little more flexibility than the truck wheels. So this is, I think, a great setup. 18 is a great size, proportionally fits the truck. I think it's gonna look great on there with that drop. Here's all the parts we're gonna be using. Again, this is a BellTech 4.5 drop kit. They use a 2-inch drop spindle up front with 2-inch coils. We're gonna do a 3-inch drop leaf, which you don't see here, and a 2-inch block setup for the rear. And then we went with their Street Performance shocks. What we did change up a little bit is we switched to a SUV, S10 SUV drop spindle, which is on later, like your 2001 Blazers or something like that. That actually goes to a seal hub design, like this. And that'll use still a stock size rotor, so to say, nothing larger, but it does have a larger caliper. So basically we're putting on later S10 SUV brakes. So that is the one difference that you won't see on a normal truck drop kit, but you can, again, change to the SUV spindle, but you have to buy the hubs, the rotors, calipers, all that stuff to convert it over. So we'll go through this process, show you what it takes to put it all on, and how it's not that bad. It's a pretty straightforward install. The front of these S10s are like your traditional Silverado or full-size truck setup. They're actually based on a G-body platform, but you're gonna undo your tie rod, sway bar, get your ball joints undone. Don't forget to your shock up here. You have a nut there, it's a stud style. Undo all that, that way you can take off the spindle and get everything off the truck. In this case, we're gonna pull the spindles and the arms. I actually have new arms that are going on because the bushings and ball joints are a little worn on this one, so it's just easier instead of replacing all that on the arm, change the whole arm out. So we're gonna do that. And again, our install is gonna be a little different on the brake setup. Normally you're gonna transfer all this over onto your drop spindle, but we again opted for the SUV spindle, so it'll have a different brake package and different setup there. But it'll still utilize same tie rod taper, same ball joint taper as what's on here. So we'll get started. We'll kind of run through this. This video is not intended to be a step-by-step, but show you the basic process of getting this thing lowered. All right, so on the ball joints, what we like to do is loosen, pull the cotter pin, loosen the nut, but leave it on the threads a little bit. So when you hit the ball joint, the arm just doesn't sling out with all the pressure of the spring on it. So it'll catch on that castle nut, then you put some pressure under it, undo it, and then slowly let it come out. Be careful, the spring will be under a lot of tension. It could not shoot out, but it'll have some force to it possibly. So it's been a while since I've done one of these S10s. So anyways, we'll keep going. Same process on the upper part. Again, we'll just run through it and follow along. All right, so as you can see, we got all of the suspension off. Arms are off. These are a little challenging to get to, not bad. We can just get them little by little for the upper control arm studs coming through. Little by little, the nut comes off. We'll get these off, and then we can start going back together with the front and get this all finished and buttoned up. Why are we filing down the brake line? When I originally bought these parts, and I've had them for a while, I bought hoses for an 01 Blazer because that's the brakes we're putting on. Well, the shape and the frame bracket is different on a Blazer versus a truck. The length and everything is fine. So we have to, there's a little edge on there, just got to file it down, get it in there so it'll lock in on one of the tabs, just not both, but it still holds it secure. The clip will still hold it in there. So we're just taking off that one little edge. So I already have them, so I'll just file it and modify it. If you were to get factory hoses for a S10, 01 S10, they would work on there. I just did this because I ordered a bunch of parts and figured they might be different, so I did that. Come to find out, you can keep factory hoses. When using the SUV spindle, you have to put this, sorry about the noise in the background, we are a working shop. You have to put this stud in because there's no hole on the back. You have holes for the bottom two. So this stud goes in there. Bearing, our wheel bearing on. Gonna put the ABS sensor towards the front. So basically sit in there like that. Now, if you are converting over from a, like we're doing here, you're not gonna have the bolts for the wheel bearing. So get the bolts with the wheel bearing, or just go and get them at your local hardware store. Grade 8s. 10.9, they're metric actually, which is grade 8 for a metric. Get those and then bolt them all in, and then your floating rotor will go on that, and then your brake assembly from there. Doesn't take much, just a little bit. Once we got them all started, then we can go ahead and tighten them all down and torque them to spec. Have you guys have probably seen this, maybe on other lowering videos we've done or just in general, but BellTech, when they sell a drop spring, most typically they're either 2 or 3 inch drop. The only thing that makes that difference is this spacer. If you want a 2 inch drop spring or a 2 inch drop from the spring, use the spacer. Line it up, it'll go on the top side of the spring. If you want a 3 inch drop from the spring, don't use it. So we're gonna opt for a 2 inch drop spring because we're gonna do a 4 inch drop in total up front and then the 5 in the back. If we do a 5 inch drop up front and a 5 in the back, it probably will have too much rake, I think. I want it to sit mostly level because we have a little rake in the wheels and tires anyway. So I think a 4.5 will set it perfect. We'll use this spacer and get them in there. So right now we're getting the spindle hung and the ABS hooked back up. The plug's back behind the upper control arm. So you're gonna plug it in back there. And that'll be for if you're doing this SUV spindle or the regular spindle, you'll still have an ABS sensor. So that way everything hooks back up, no lights. And then next we'll get the lower control arm swung up. Okay, we got the spindle hung. We lowered the truck down because I find it a little easier than trying to do a screw jack with a small base to get the spring compressed and in there. So we lowered it back down. We're gonna get the spring seated up in the upper pocket. Get it seated down here, and then we'll jack it up from there. Swing the spindle out, and then we'll hook up the lower ball joint, and then that'll hold it all together. Then we'll go ahead and tighten everything, cotter pin it all, make sure it's good, and then we'll show you hook up the steering and so forth. You'll see that, but we'll get this one in, and the other side's already done. Now we'll make sure once we got it basically in there, we'll make sure it's seated on the upper part, and if it is, then we'll continue forward. Feed the ABS like we did on the other side, feed that through, and finish the sway bar stuff and all that, tie rods, etc. We'll check these once the truck's on the ground and the weight's on the control arm. We'll retorque them, loosen them, retorque them, because you should torque them when they're actually on the ground. We'll do 2 lug nuts just to hold the rotor nice and square, then we can go ahead and set up our caliper. Just holds it from wobbling around. We had to trim the arm for the spindle, so we'll just kind of, oop. That was the worst paint job ever. Now we'll pull the caliper off and pop the brake pads in. So that's how you normally do a brake job. Pull the caliper off, pads slide into the anchor bracket, and then you put the caliper on. So we're just gonna do that first, get that all seated, then we'll Loctite everything and get the brakes all buttoned up and bolted in. Always make sure there is a left and a right to calipers. Bleeder always goes up. New shocks all the way around like we talked about. These are one of the last things we put in. Slide up through the bottom. 2 bolts, one up top, pretty straightforward. That was one of the nut clips on the bottom of the control arm because we had to switch those over since we did new control arms. So if you are doing new control arms, remember, save those. That'll hold it. We'll get the bottom bolts, zip those in, and then we can tighten the top. Then we'll tighten this front down. You just want to put a little pressure on the bushings. You don't want to smash them and just hammer them in there. Just a little pressure on the bushing, and then you have another nut on top of this that'll jam nut against it. Might be spinning the shaft right now. Can't tell, let's see, probably is. No, it seems tightened down. It's got no play in it. So we just barely just give it a little bit. Then we'll run this one down. Snug it up against the other one. That's it. All right, now that we got the shocks off, next we got the rear end supported. We're gonna pull the bottom spring plates off, get the rear end loose from the leaf springs, and we'll swap them. We're gonna have to lower it down a little bit because the leaf spring still wants to pull it down. So we're just gonna let it rest now that we got the shocks off. There we go. Just had to drop it a hair. We got that one off. There we go. You're gonna reuse these spring plates for the new drop leaves. We're actually gonna add a drop block too. So it's gonna be a 3-inch drop leaf with a 2-inch drop block. Now that this is all free and loose, now we can get the drop leaves ready. And as you can see here, they are marked front. So there is front and a back to them. That'll have to do with the positioning of the axle for your driveline. Now, we don't know if we're gonna need shims in the back for driveline angle vibration. We'll deal with that once we get it all back together and drive it. This one is a 2-piece driveline, so we may have to do shims in it. We'll just play it by ear and we'll see what happens. These actually, looking at them, these actually have a slight degree in them. So, and they're actually set up for the S10, so that might totally make sense and we won't need them. Already built into the drop block. Gotta take the spare down. I don't think we're gonna be able to slide the bolt out with the spare there. Let's do that now. All right, I need an extra hand to get the leaves up, but we got leaf springs up, got the drop block in. You just got to line those pins. You have to kind of get them on there. They are a tight fit. The larger, these are tapered. The larger portion, you want to kick the pinion up is what we want to do. So one side's going to be a little bit taller. You want to make sure that taller side is towards the front of the truck. Then what we'll do is we'll lower down the rear end. That pin will fit into the rear end pin, and then we cinch it all down with the new U-bolts and hardware. And don't forget, when you put on new wheels, do not leave the drums rusty. Shoot them with black. We're just gonna do it real quick because eventually this is gonna get disc brake swapped in the future. So I'm not too worried about how this is and cleaning them up because it's gonna come back off. You'll wanna check these too after about, say 100 miles or so. Retorque everything, check all your bolts that you touch, the caliper bolts, the anchor bracket bolts going on the spindle. Just give everything once over, and then retorque these. Why are you getting winded? Not much to say. You watched the video. This is just showing you the end result. You already know what we did. BellTech 4.5 drop, 18-inch American racing wheels. There you go.